Okay, before we start on today's task, you're going to need a little bit of equipment. So if you have your booklet, you should have some isometric grid paper. If you don't have your booklet, because it's the start of the module, you may have one of these sheets from a previous module, for instance in year 7 that you may have. If you don't have one of those, don't panic, okay? We'll move that to one side. The next thing you might have at home is you might have a set square. You don't want this one really. This is the 45-degree set square. We don't need that one. Ideally we want the 60-degree set square, this one on the side. If you've got that, terrific, it will work the same way as this demonstration I'm going to use in a minute. But if you don't have that one, we'll just move that to one side. Then you may have one of these, a protractor. So if you do have a protractor, fantastic. I'll demonstrate how you can use this to make your makeshift set square. If you don't have one of these, don't worry, I'll show you what you can do instead of that. So you need some card, some scrap card. So it's the end of Christmas now on the side. So what I want to do is I'm just going to place my set square on the side. What I want to, my protractor on the side. What I want to do is try and measure a 30-degree angle. So I'm going to put my protractor on the side with my pencil. I'm going to mark here. That's the 30-degree line or marker there. And if I just put a marker as to where the central point is, so I'll just double check that. So it's about there. So with a ruler, if I just project a line up through that marker, so I know it's traveling at 30 degrees, something like that. And then with a pair of scissors, we're going to cut this out. So this is our makeshift 30-degree set square. Okay, so that's that one. And what we can do is we can flip it either direction to get our 30-degree line. If you don't have your protractor, which is this one on the side, don't panic. What we can then do is we can take our paper and we can say, well, look, if we draw a vertical line on it, we know that this is 90 degrees from this horizontal line. If we then dissect that by drawing a 45-degree line, we know that our 30-degree line is a bit lower than that. So long as we get somewhere in the region, somewhere about here, this could be our 30-degree line for now. So I can draw a vertical line here. And the important thing is when you come to drawing isometric, ideally we'd like them at 30 degrees, but the second most important thing is that all the depth lines are parallel with each other. So if we use the same implements to draw those, they should be parallel, okay? So you may have this one or you may have that one. If I use this one, when you come to, obviously there's going to be a video on the next one that you can use to talk you through the construction of the whole of the iPod mini. But if I just draw the crate, show you how to use it. So if I'm using my makeshift, I'm going to draw a baseline. Your baseline could be the edge of the paper if you wanted to. But if I draw from here, so I'm going to place my set square onto there, draw my 30-degree line, flip it over, draw my other 30-degree line, making sure that it's on that baseline. I'm going to draw a vertical line upwards. So if I put my set square just on the edge there and project that upwards. Okay, so we've got our 3 lines that we need for all isometric drawings. If I then measure along here, so I'm going to draw a cuboid. So I'm going to measure, that's going to be the width of my iPod mini. This is going to be the length of the iPod mini. Again, if I put my set square just on that baseline, this will give me my vertical. If I flip it over, this is going to give me my vertical on the opposite side. There we go. And then if I pick the thickness of the iPod mini, so I'm going to go for 1.5 on here. If I then place my set square on that line, moving it up, making sure it's on there, because I'm using the same implement, that means this line should be parallel with this one. And if I flip it over, place it onto here, draw that way, and then place it, move it up a little bit to that edge, there we go, draw that line across. Now if it's not going long enough, because obviously I want the line up here, what you can then do is you probably need another horizontal line that's parallel with this one, just a faint one, just across there. I can then position my set square onto that one, like that, project that across, so it gives me that extra line, and then flip my set square over, and I can draw this one across here. There we go. And then we've got the crate. We can then start to put in the windows, not windows, the screen. So I can draw a 30-degree line going down here, move that along here. There we go. Flip that over, and we can just divide that section up. So that would be where potentially we'd like this to be a square actually, so I should have measured it. That's going to be, it's not really a square, that's going to be where the click wheel is going to be. This is going to be where the screen is going to be here, like that. So, and then eventually we'll put an isometric circle in this bit, but that does need to be a square. Okay, there we go. So there's a couple more videos to show you a bit more detail about applying a finish to your iPod mini.